Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's finally the weekend, Friday night. Not really sure what I plan on doing this weekend. I'm just gonna play it by ear. Usually I work on my laundry on Friday nights, but I just don't feel like it right now. I just want to rest. I couldn't wait to get into the shower and just, get into my pajamas and the slippers that I make and just be comfortable. Not to say, I would say that my clothes for work are very comfortable, okay? But still, there's nothing like being at home. I mean, I'm sure you all agree. So, anyway, I was thinking today about weak minded people and how I see my future. Um, as you know, I have been talking about this for very many months. I mean, I've had like over 400 videos talking about my situation, and I'm hoping that I now have my way of presenting myself to employers without the uh, fear of having to deal with the harassment that I was dealing with. Yes, it is a form of harassment and it's a form of terrorism, um, especially if you're looking at it from a religious standpoint. It is definitely so, or even a racial standpoint. Bringing up my marriage issue and all this other stuff. It is a form of terrorism, and the thing is that when I'm not going to say that I'm going to forgive because I won't forgive. And I mean, I forgive, but it has to be in a way where I can't deal with these people. And I think I made myself very clear. So, for everyone who's known me in the past, there is no hello, how are you? Just walk by me. Don't talk to me at all. Okay? And the reason why it has to be that way is because what happened was very severe. Very severe, very traumatizing, completely illegal, and 100% foolish. Okay? Um, and so by interacting with these people that I interacted with in the past, that goes for past employers, people that I worked with, so on and so forth, there cannot be any interaction with me. I mean, there's chances are I will probably see these people somewhere out in public or whatever, but I have nothing to say to them. My reasons are because of the issue that was created. In my mind, there is no excuse for what happened. Okay, um, and it's not about me trying to hold a grudge. Okay, because believe me, if I held a grudge, I would make sure I would get my revenge, okay? I would make sure, okay? Because there's really nothing that would prevent me from getting in the car and driving over to each and every building and making a big ruckus, okay? I don't have a problem with confrontation. My point is that I don't see any point in that, okay? I think I've made my points very clear. And so there is no reason for me to try to retaliate. I just want to move on. And I should be able to move on, and there should be no interception of my freedom, period, by my family or previous employers or just weird other weak minded people who took it upon themselves to participate in this foolishness. Now, I was thinking about the understanding of comprehension and how when we are in the learning process, oftentimes we're presented with questions that confirm that we fully understand what we read. Do we understand what we read? Can you identify the situation in a similar situation? And that's something that lawyers are meant to do. Okay, they're meant to, refer to different cases, understand what happened in cases that might have been related to other cases or issues or whatever, and you have to analyze the situation and also base it upon the law. Okay, I don't expect people to have the same understanding as a lawyer, okay? Because believe me, and I would like to also add and throw the fact in that there was a lawyer who is a mayor who probably participated in this. And this just goes to show you my point. My point is that we have a big problem with people just getting by with the knowledge that they receive, or the knowledge is not valuable to them enough for them to do any sort of thinking and reflecting on what they have already known and what there is no excuse to have not known. Okay, there is no excuse for somebody to participate in any form of this. Okay, from any standpoint, whether you're looking at that from an employment standpoint, which relates to regular business law, or you're looking at from a religious standpoint, from the laws that are presented in your holy scriptures. Okay. So I had made my and made my points, and I think I made them quite well. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to dredge it up. So I want to move on. Okay. But my point is that what I find frustrating in dealing with the world around me and the people, specifically the people who get involved in this, or the people who see nothing wrong with their actions, is that I can't help but look at these people as weak-minded and people that really need some sort of, they're dangerous, okay? To not be able to think logically, clearly, based off information that you should have known years ago, okay? We all know that America is a free country, okay? That's one of the reasons why this country was founded, okay? It was based on the freedom of religion. You know, I can't even, when I hear this, it boggles my mind how people, it's not just that, the Constitution, it's the professionals who got involved in this, okay? All of these people are bitching and complaining and giving me grief and acting like, they just can't put me to work because, even though I have 20 years of experience, somehow I'm not good enough to as they are because I don't have a 4-year degree. Okay, my point is there is no excuse for this obvious failure on their part. Okay, they should have known better. Okay, and if you're some of these people who work in employment agencies. Now, employment agencies are pretty lenient. I know there's a lot of people who work in employment agencies that may not have gone to college at all, and yet I know because I've actually worked for a company for a very short period of time, calling people, and I remember receiving a manual, okay, and it was basically a review of, what you're supposed to say if somebody asks for maybe a particular kind of person or race or religion or a specific sex of a person or whatever, and how you're supposed to respond to these things, okay? So training was given to these people, okay? Same issues with a lot of people who slip up and they do something inappropriate relating to sexual harassment, okay? And I know if you're a manager, you have gone through the training. It's required to receive that training on the definition and guidelines and information as to what falls under that category. But guess what? That information that's received just goes right out the window, okay? And this is a huge problem, okay? Now, I don't know if it was my sister or the farmer or Piggy's mom or the religious freak Esther. I don't know who got together with these people and how they conjured up this ridiculous idea that I'm supposed to have less than, okay? It doesn't even make any sense, all right? But whatever the case is, the minute somebody said something about religion, race, marriage, these things should have immediately popped into these people's mind, especially if you are somebody who works in human resources, because that information is right in front of your face every day. Those are the same compliance posters that you're required to have. How does this stuff slip up? So when whoever made that phone call, whoever initiated that plan, okay, whether that be some person who just didn't like me, you know what I mean? Whether it originated from whoever, for whatever reason, okay? Started making phone calls to actually put this situation in place. Look how many people got involved in this, okay? So I did a video earlier today about the ignorance of the everyday American citizen. This is no lie. This is no lie. It's no joke, okay? It's like, I wonder how in the world, somebody can survive in this world with this much ignorance. It blows my mind. And it's not about me trying to put people down or anything. There is no excuse. No excuse, okay? Now, some people, I don't care what people will say, they could sit there and think, well, it was your fault, Marie. You should know. Okay, here's the point of that. Like I said, this is an issue between me and Piggy, okay? Him and me alone. It has nothing to do with anybody else, okay? And like I said, if you find that that is an adequate answer to justify the irrational behavior, then something is wrong with you. Okay, something is wrong with you. So, when a person calls and makes a request like that, or anybody, like you're in a conversation or something, and maybe you're dealing with somebody who's in a position of authority that you view as an authoritative figure, it is not disrespectful to question authority. It's one thing to belittle them, okay, or state it in a way where you try to cut down that person's opinion or you're attacking a person, but you have to think on the terms of, is this ethical and is this legal? Okay, it blows my mind that not one person even considered that. Not one. You know what I mean? Or that I had any choices in the matter, Yeah, it does. It blows me away. So I would say that, I can move on. You know what I mean? I can move on. I'm not going to be hostile to these people unless, of course, they try to come up and talk to me. Then I will basically give them a tongue lashing they will never forget. And I will literally tell them to step back and do not talk to me, period. Okay? My reasons are, I've already made very clear because, it makes sense to be that way. It just does. Okay? Because basically, like I said, I know what this program is designed to do. Okay? And for people who didn't question, they just went along with the herd mentality. Like I said, I was referring to it as the middle and the lower tiers of the pyramid. Question. Is this right? Is this legal? Ethical? You know what I mean? How could people not have seen this as not as what it was, for what it was? It was a form of racial discrimination. It was a form of religious discrimination. It was a form of discriminating against, I guess my marriage at the time, if that even is a marriage, if he's married to his mom or whatever the fucking weird that shit that is, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever the case is, all of it was terrorism. Every single last bit of it. To go into a place of employment and literally be toyed with to find a job so that I could take care of myself. It's a form of terrorism, or holding something or withholding something from another person to try to convert them, okay, into a religious system or something like that. This kind of stuff happens to a lot of people, especially the religious issue. There's a lot of targeted individuals whose families are just basically cults, or trying to inflict their religious views on to other people, and they're using means of force to do it, and they're doing it through employment. Okay, that is a no. You do not discriminate against religion. And from a religious standpoint, I mean, I'm looking at how much the average American doesn't know. The average American doesn't know anything about the religion. They really don't. They don't. They go to the church services, they mingle, they talk. They don't internalize anything. They don't believe that it's really a lifestyle, that it's a way of changing your life or a life path. What it is, it's a social function. The reason why I say that, or the reason why I'm making this assumption, it really is an assumption, it's more like an observation. The reason why I'm saying that is because look at their behavior. Did not one person say, well, this is, we're Christians here, do I have any biblical reference that I could use to actually say that what I'm doing is okay? It's a cult, man. It's just a fucking cult. And the cults are everywhere. Okay, like I said, you don't have to look like Manson. You don't have to look like, the Hell's Gate, Haley Bop dude, or whatever these people are. You don't have to look like that. a group of people. I was reading a book, not a book. It's like more like an article on the webpage, basically talking about how some people got themselves in trouble. It started off really innocent, like they went to a yoga class. Okay, certain people started talking about other people, and the next thing you know, boom, a cult, was created. You know what I mean? Cults can form easily. It could be one person talking to another person, and you're using this as an way of gaining some sort of power over another person or try to damage another person. This is dangerous behavior, especially in a work-related issue. So it's eye-opening. So I mean, when I'm talking about questioning authority, we should have respect for authority. Okay, I know people think someone like myself couldn't possibly have respect for authority. Well, I will tell you that there's some authority figures who don't deserve respect. Okay, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and make waves with these people. I show everyone respect until they do something to smite me. Okay, now, like for example, the mayor. If I was to meet the mayor, as disrespectful as it sounds, I would probably call him Harvey. Now, some people will say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, I think there's a lot wrong with that, because based on what I believe, a person should be addressed as their title. They should be addressed as Mr. and Mrs. until they are told, I am told, to not speak to them that way. If they want me to be on more of a personal level, then I will be that way. Okay? Why I will not ever refer to him as Mayor Tom Harvey Hall or whatever. He's not the mayor anymore, but still, Mayor Harvey Hall or Mr. Hall. I would not refer to him. He would be Harvey to me. Why? Because he's done nothing but disrespect me. Okay, this is an issue that went on for entirely too long. Okay, now, that doesn't mean that I would do something to hurt him. Absolutely not. But I will tell you what, there is no respect there. And there shouldn't be. Okay? Because you don't do something. You need to understand, if you're in a position of authority, you need to be able to rule, run, direct, lead in a way that is ethical and moral. Plain and simple. Okay? And if you fail to do that, well, guess what? There is no respect there. And that's tick for tack, man. It's tick for tack. So anyway, this video is called Weak-Minded People. Open your eyes, people. I mean, you have to question, when it comes to work-related issues, you have to question whether this is ethical, moral, legal. Can it get the company sued? Can it do something on those lines? You have to think about those sort of things. From a religious standpoint, is this really in alignment with the scriptures? If it's not, then don't do it. And if you're going to sit here and call yourself Christian, let's not fool ourselves, okay? Because we all know what the Bible says about people who sit there and claim one thing and really live another, okay? Those people are in for a big surprise, okay? So whatever you say you're going to do in life, just follow through and be it, live it, show it. That's all I'm saying, okay? Because if you can't, obviously you're squawking about something that really is trying to hide something else, okay? So I'm moving on from this issue as much as I possibly can. I'm trying to get over the trauma. I'm still quite traumatized over this. It is extremely traumatizing, okay? Because I don't need to tell you why, okay? It's like, it's like going to a store and you encounter a Klansman, okay? That's exactly how it feels. Okay, and that is no other way of me to describe it. Okay, people need to know better. Okay, so if you're in one of those positions, you need to understand. Those posters are on the wall for a reason, and it's not about somebody being babyish. It's not about somebody being picky. It's about the damage that you do to other people. Okay, the harm that you cause. That is lawsuit worthy, okay? So it's actually for the company's protection mostly, because you're there to protect the company, okay? But I will tell you, I'm on the receiving end of somebody's ignorance, and you know what? It's bullshit. So I'm moving on, okay? I'm gonna wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Have a great night, and I will be back with another video tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.